Hey, Boyd, why don't you fix that right quick?
Hey, it's working fine on mine.
It is on mine too.
Caleb,
Yes, sir.
I've lost.
Hey, Walker,
everybody.
you been hunting? What's the deal?
I just rolled in on 2 wheels, went duck hunting up in your
Oh.
neck of the woods in Birchwood.
Did you really?
Yeah,
How'd you
What
do?
about duty to
did
listen?
real well.
You just
Good.
Limit of mallards doesn't get any better than that.
All right,
Don't get it. You're exactly right.
Walker, are you going hunting?
I've been hunting. I just got back.
You've been hunting, just came in. Did you?
Yeah.
You do any good?
Did real good.
Good.
Well, if you know how to cook those ducks so they don't taste like mud, you need to let me know because
The ducks are easy. The geese are the ones that are kind of yuck. Bunch of old local tough birds.
yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's call this meeting to order. This is the December 16th meeting of the WWTA Board of Commissioners. Welcome, everybody. And let's first of all call the roll. Natasha,
Bill.
you do that?
Yes,
Here.
sir. Bill.
Here.
Canella. Here. Darren Collins. Kenny Custer.
Here.
Doug Fisher.
Here.
Curtis Jones. Walker Jones.
Here.
Bill McGriff.
Here.
Gene Shipley. Boyd Ville.
Here.
Dick G.
Here. Boyd was here. Where'd he go? All right, just to review, we are continuing to operate under an order, executive order from the governor. This order is now number 65, and it's what allows us to operate and conduct meetings in the way we're doing without coming together in person. So at this point, we're going to go forward unless I hear an objection from someone. Let's take a moment as we kind of just take a breath. And for the time of invocation, just a moment of silence. And there are any number of things that we can think about. Lots of negative things, but I think there is maybe there's a reason to be hopeful. And so let's concentrate on that, if you don't mind, for the next few seconds while we put our hearts and minds ready to do the work in front of us. All right, thank you all very much. Commissioners should have a copy of board minutes from November 18th, 2020. Do I hear a motion for approval?
Motion accept.
Second.
Thank you, Doug. A second?
Second.
Okay, I think that was Jay. All right, this delay is going to cause a problem for everybody, so we'll just hang in there. So we have a motion and a second. Let's call the roll for approval, please, Natasha.
J. Bell.
Yes.
Alice Canella.
Yes.
Kenny Custer.
Yes.
Doug Fisher.
Sorry, yes.
Walker Jones.
Yes.
Bill McGriff.
Yes.
Dick G.
Yes. I was listening. I didn't consider that we might not have a quorum, but we do have a quorum. Pretty sure of that. So we'll continue to go forward. Commissioners also should have minutes of the committee work session dated December 10th, 2020. Do I hear a motion for approval?
Kenny, motion to approve.
Thanks, Kenny. Second?
Walker, second.
Thanks, Walker. Natasha, let's call the roll.
Alice Canella,
Yes.
Jay Bell,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Doug Fisher,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boyd Veal,
Yes.
Dick G.
Yes. Okay, very good. Next thing on the agenda is a report from Neill, our attorney. Neill, do you have anything to bring to the board meeting this morning or this evening? Neill. Neill, are you there? She's showing up on my screen, but I'm not making contact. All right, let's go back. Let's go on and we'll come back and pick that up in a little bit. That brings us to the director's report. Mike, are you ready?
I'm ready. So I guess the first thing we can talk about is the SSO report for November. If you can pull that up. There we go. You can see we had relatively few overflows in November. The rainfall was about 1.5 inches below normal. But anyway, that's a better looking report than we've seen some Novembers. So anyway. Any questions about those?
Hey, Mike, I guess you probably saw where 2020 is now the wettest year on record, and followed by 2018, followed by 2019.
Yes. Yeah, I was just discussing with that with Scott and Eric Brooks about that today. We have these moratoriums in several of our communities here, but there's no allowance for the fact that we're having the wettest years on record. We should be able to get some relief because of that. If anybody else doesn't have any questions, we can go ahead and go to the report, Caleb.
Tap on fees are next. Is that the next, what you got?
Project report. I just wanted to go over it with y'all, just to kind of keep you up to date. This is our current project list of active, and some of these projects are farther along than others. So I just wanted to hit the high spots of some of the more important projects that are in progress right now. 3C and 4B, that's the rehab project in East Ridge. They are probably going to do some preliminary TV work on it in the next week or so, but they'll actually be hitting the ground out there in earnest after the first of the year. That's an important I&I project for us because it has to do with where one of our excess flows flows over into the city of Fort Oglethorpe into their system. And I've actually got a meeting with them on Monday in regards to that particular occurrence. So it's important that we get this project going because that'll help that issue quite a bit. Next project would be the lookout or the I-75 collector project. And we are making good progress on the bore. And that's really the linchpin of the project. They're about 240 feet in to a roughly 310-foot bore under I-75. And we've had a little setback in the other part of the work in that there is a potential legal issue with one of the properties over there, but it's really not our issue. It's more has to do with the contractor on the job. However, ultimately, it could potentially delay the project, but we're hoping for a successful resolution of that particular issue. Next up would be the Lookout Mountain Basin work. We've got some leftover money in our SRF loan there to apply to more work on the mountain. Have met with the city of Chattanooga and we're working with them because one of our potential projects there would be to do some upsizing, and that upsizing may pass extra flow down to the city of Chattanooga. So we're doing some modeling and working with the city to come up with the best solution there that solves our problem and doesn't cause them a problem. Next up is the Snow Hill force main repair. And it's kind of a linchpin to getting the Roy Lane and Green Gap pump station projects done. We did complete that repair, and that the Snow Hill force main is once again usable. So we'll be able to proceed with the Roy Lane and Green Gap upgrades. We got a meeting tomorrow, I believe, as a matter of fact, with the contractor on restarting that contract. The Short Tail pump station upgrade is also making good progress. We've got a preliminary design for the phase 1 of that project, and we'll be moving it out for bid as quickly as possible. That is the project that involves the resurfacing of a portion of Snow Hill Road, so we need to get that one out. It's making progress. The Red Bank Rehab project will begin sometime, it's scheduled to begin January 4th. Hopefully it'll stick to that schedule. That is an I&I project in the Red Bank area with the intentions of it helping us out with credits for the moratorium in that area. And then we've had lengthy discussions about Signal Mountain and actually talked with the Signal Mountain Town Council Monday night. I don't know how many of you managed to see that, but we are proceeding with our plans to upgrade that system. We'll meet the first step at this point, or the next step is to meet with TDEC in early January in terms of our plant project. And hopefully we'll be able to make some progress with them. I don't know if anybody has any other questions about projects. I'll be happy to answer them if I can.
Hey, Mike, Doug Fisher.
Yes.
Just, kind of viewing this from somebody outside of us who may not have seen what all's going on and such, but as time moves along, when you look at these projects by community, if you lived on Signal Mountain, you probably, and I do, as a disclaimer, would be asking the question. So, there's basically $6, $12, $13 million worth of projects going on in Red Bank. You got $600,000 worth of projects going on in Signal Mountain. Just as an answer to those folks, can you kind of explain? My assumption is that as the studies progress and agreements are made, we'll see that column get significantly larger from the standpoint of actual resources committed to an individual community. Am I right?
Yes. I mean, we've only got studies listed right now, but the actual contractual work, physical work, shall we say, is, it will be in the tens of millions of dollars for Signal Mountain.
In particular, the treatment plant?
Both the treatment plant and the work on top of the mountain. It's really a two-pronged situation there. We've got to upgrade the plant, and we've also got to make the upgrades to the top of the mountain, which you've seen the presentations before. It's difficult work up there. The number for signal will not be insignificant.
Thank you. I guess Dick also, well, it's Mike's time. Mike, did you see County Commission this morning?
I did.
Did you have any response to Santa's list? For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, in the County Commission this morning, Commissioner Mackey had two things listed on his list for Santa Claus, AKA Coppinger. And one of his first ask of Santa Claus was because the county had been so good this year, is he wanted a wastewater treatment plant. Made for a lot of good humor on the County Commission this morning.
It would be great if Santa Claus could bring us one of those.
Yeah,
yeah. Without a doubt.
Well, I suggested that my good friend Warren Mackey must have been in the eggnog a little this morning. But we appreciate him. We appreciate his support, and that's all that is his support of us and knowing what's needed.
Hey, Mike, this is Jay Bell.
Yes.
On the Naughty Daisy project, how is the land acquisition going on that? Is that complete?
Well, one of the resolutions, it's not. One of the resolutions in today's packet, of course, is to do the geotech work. So once the geotech work is done and it comes back satisfactory, we will proceed with the land purchase.
Okay.
Also another project there, right below there on the list, the Lake Carolyn Gravity Rehab. That's another project that we are looking into. We actually just were talking about that today. So we're going to try and see if we can't get that particular project going as well. It's a relatively small project, but we think it will do some good.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions or comments? So Mike, are we ready for resolutions? Or tap on fees, is that the next thing?
Yes, tap on fees are next. So in terms of permits sold, we had a really good month, and the monetary value was less because there were a lot of developer discount projects or permits. So that's the reason for the large number of permits and the relatively low amount of money there involved. One other thing, we had 17 PSLP call outs in November, which surprised me. I thought there might be more around the Thanksgiving holiday, but there weren't, but that's fairly normal. Sort of in keeping with the numbers we've been looking at the last, 12 months or so. And at this point, we can go to resolutions if nobody has any questions.
Resolution number 1220-0.
Okay.
A Hamilton County Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority, WWTA Board Resolution amending the certified fair market cost of $263,951 from Resolution 1020-03 for the Sedman Hills Phase 4B Low Pressure System, project number 17-318, to the new contractor certified fair market cost of the sanitary sewer system of $73,007.
Mike, you want to kind of review what?
Chairman,
Yes.
Mike, I need to excuse myself from this discussion and vote. That is my project.
Okay. Well, the reason for the amendment is the original resolution from back in October, the value of the entire project. the entire project is not complete. So this resolution cleans that up and only acknowledges the section of the project that is complete. There'll be other resolutions in the future as the project progresses.
Okay. Okay, any questions from anybody at this point? Do I hear a motion for approval?
Move it, be approved, this bill.
Second, Kenny.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Kenny. Are there any other questions or comments? Okay, Natasha, please call the roll.
Alice Canella,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Doug Fisher,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boyd DeVille,
yes,
Dick G.
Yes.
Resolution 1220-02, a Hamilton County Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority, WWTA Board Resolution accepting ownership of the Abington Farms Subdivision Sewer System Project number 18-316 at the contractor certified fair market cost of the sanitary sewer system of $266,872.
I hear a motion for approval.
This is Walker, motion to approve.
This
Thanks,
is Jay.
Walker. A second?
I will second. This is Jay.
Thank you, Jay. Where is Abington Farms?
It's in the Hickson area, and it will be a 53 lots particular subdivision. Did that come through?
Yeah, sort of.
I'll say it again. It's in the Hickson area, 53 lots.
Okay, good enough. Very good. We have a motion and a second. Natasha, let's call the roll.
Jay Bell,
Yes.
Alice Canella,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Doug Fisher,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boyd DeVille,
yes,
Dick G.
Yes.
Resolution 1220-03, a Hamilton County Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority, WWTA Board Resolution authorizing the purchase of one 2021 International CV 515 service truck from Lee Smith Incorporated from the Sourcewell contract for an amount of $125,757.70.
Mike, you want to give us a little overview on this for anyone who was not aware?
Yes, so this is a new maintenance truck with a larger crane. Right now, the truck we have now has a smaller crane, and we're limited on the pumps that we can pull due to the size of that crane. Also, the other truck has about 180,000 miles on it, so it's getting on up there and in reliability. So we just need to purchase this truck to augment our maintenance program.
Kenny, motion to approve.
Bill, second.
Now I'm back. All right. Someone tell me what happened while I was away.
There was a second for resolution number 3.
Number 3. Do we have a motion?
That's correct, Dick. I motioned it and Bill seconded it, I believe.
That's right.
So we have a motion and a second.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Are there any questions before we proceed with the vote? Natasha, let's call the roll, please, then.
Sir, before we proceed, I think someone needs to mute themselves. There's a lot of feedback. It may be you, Caleb.
Yeah, we're trying to work on that.
Okay. Jay Bell,
Yes.
Alice Canella,
Yes,
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Doug Fisher,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boyd Ville,
Yes.
Dick G.
Yes. I'm sorry for the problems. Okay, next resolution.
Resolution 1220-04, a Hamilton County Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority, WWTA Board Resolution authorizing the chair and/or executive director to enter into a contract with Terracon Engineering to perform preliminary geotechnical engineering services for the Saudi Daisy project number 20-340 for a total cost not to exceed $19,525.
Jay, this is the resolution that Mike referred to.
Got one thing to add, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
I added a 10% contingency to what was discussed in the committee meeting, just in case there's something unforeseen in the clearing or whatever else that when they actually get out there to do the work. And the 19,525 reflects the addition of that 10% contingency to the original quote.
I make a motion for approval, Jay.
all right.
Second, Bill.
Thank you, Jay. Do I hear a second?
Second, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. Any other questions, comments? Okay, Natasha, let's call the roll, please. We've hit a lull. Natasha?
It appears that Natasha's dropped somehow.
Hello.
Let's give it a minute and see if she can come back. Mike's talking to her.
Yes, she's having technical difficulties.
Aren't we all? Yeah. Golly.
Yeah, it seems like we are.
Yeah. Well, I can call the roll if that's what we need to do. Is she coming back, Mike, you think?
She is working feverishly to come back.
Hey, Mike,
Okay.
while we're waiting on that, can I ask you a question?
Okay.
On these contracts, we do the same thing, adding the contingency. Do you initiate the contract with that contingency included? Or is that just an additional amount that you're pre-authorized to expend if necessary?
I do not include that amount with the contract.
Okay, good. That's what that's one thing when we started doing it, we were worried about basically providing those funds to them at their will. So just wanted to make sure that was where you guys were as well.
Yes. Well, we have Natasha back.
I was calling the roll for resolution 1220.
There she is. We're at,
I think I'm calling the roll unless I missed something. Well, I need the motion in a second for resolution 1220-04.
we have a motion. I think it was, remind me, Jay, did you make the motion?
Yes, I made the motion.
And I seconded it, Bill, I think.
And Bill was the second. So we're ready for the vote, Natasha.
Okay, Jay Bell,
Yes.
Alice Cannella,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Doug Fisher,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boyd Veal,
Yes.
Dick G.
Yes.
Resolution 1220-05. A Hamilton County Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority, WWTA Board Resolution approving the purchase of 4-inch cast iron base elbow from Carolina Pump Works LLC for the Laurel Cove Pump Station for an amount not to exceed $4,344.
This is Walker. Motion to approve.
Second, Doug.
Thank you, Doug. Any questions? This was discussed in the engineering meeting. It is a single supplier, but it is an existing pump. So that makes sense. Any questions or comments?
This, one thing I wanted you to be aware of, this amount is slightly over what was discussed in committee because we did not have shipping. So I think this particular amount reflects an additional $200, I believe, for shipping that wasn't included in what we discussed the other day.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Any comments or questions?
I just wanted to, this is Boyd. If memory serves, this is actually an amount that you would normally be authorized to make a purchase on, but we're doing this because it is a sole source and you wanted documented approval on that. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's correct. That's what was discussed.
I just wanted to point out that this was an extra step on Mike's point, on Mike's part, to make sure things were above board. He could have gone ahead with this purchase, but brought it to the board because it was a sole source, and I appreciate him taking the time to do that.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, Boyd. Okay, I think we're ready for a vote, Natasha.
Jay Bell,
Yes.
Alice Cannella,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Doug Fisher,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boyd Veal,
Yes.
Dick G.
Yes.
Resolution 1220-06. A Hamilton County Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority Board Resolution authorizing the purchase of 4 Mission Communication Skater units for CASER and Associates Incorporated for an amount of $17,028.
Okay, Mike, you want to kind of give us an overview of what these things do?
So this is another augment to our pump station program. What this allows us to do is monitor pump station levels, pump station runtime, what particular pump happens to be running at the time, trends at our pump stations. We've already got two of these units in operation right now, with 3 more coming online soon. This will be an additional 4 more that we're going to put at Saudi Industrial, Boy Scout, Reinhardt Valley, and Hurricane Creek. So it helps us sort of get a handle on just what exactly the pump station is doing during just general operation as well as heavy rain events. Right now, our system is basically just what's called a dialer. So when we get a high level alarm or a pump fail alarm, what happens now is we just get a phone call. But these units give us a whole lot more information to be able to understand how the system works.
For those of you that aren't up on your acronyms, Mike, what is SCADA?
Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition is the actual, SCADA is an acronym for.
Yeah.
Mike, this is Walker.
Keyword there is
help. Does this help with any information to TDAC to help lift moratoriums, having more of these flow monitoring situations?
Well, the main thing it does is it helps us avoid overflows. We've got one of these units at Snow Hill Pump Station and one at Rogers Ranch right now. And I mentioned, I think at the last meeting, I can't tell you how many times the real-time data and the trend helped us avoid an overflow at Snow Hill in the last year and a half or so.
Okay.
This is Alice. Motion to approve this purchase.
I'll
Thank
second.
you, Alice. Do I hear a second?
I'll second. This is Jay.
Hey, Jay, thank you, Jay. Any further comments? This is the future, folks. It's time to call the roll, Natasha. Thank you.
Jay Bell,
Yes.
Alice Canella,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Doug Fisher,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boyd Phil, Dick G.
Yes. I think that completes resolutions. And now we're going to the AR report.
All right. So for the month of October, we had a total late bill amount of $459,184, bringing the total bills to $1,171,000. And of that amount, $712,000 was in new bills, bringing a cumulative collection rate to 95.85%, or the month of August was at 90.62%.
I hope that's an indication of a real turnaround. I guess it's still, time will tell, but at least maybe the bleeding has stopped. Does anybody have any comment on that?
Dick, I have a question on the published package for this meeting. It shows on mine something I don't guess I've ever seen before, called payment plan, with a little bit of a bar on the bar graph. Is that there's something new about that or different than
That little blue thing?
Yeah.
What is that?
Payment plan.
Becky, are
says.
you there?
Just curious.
Peggy, are you there?
The payment plan started new this month.
Peggy?
Yes. The payment plan started to do this. Yes. It's my understanding that with the notifications that went out, starting the late fees and the shutoffs again, that customers were allowed to ask for a payment plan for what they had in arrears, which is not any different than what we've done before. It's my understanding that what's different this time is that if someone was already in a payment plan, due to COVID, they were allowed to restructure a new payment plan this time. Apparently the information was not clear on the customer bills. So INCO in their Bill Master program had a programming change that split this information out so that the bill is very clear going to the customer how much they have left on their payment plan. And I didn't speak with INCO, but it's just my opinion that because the information was now being handled separately to be able to bill, they had to bring that into the bill register some way.
So that shows up as past due, but it's collectible, you think?
Correct. I think it's collectible in the fact that the customer has chosen to set up the payment plan.
That's encouraging. Yeah.
It's also additional information, just something that I think it will be useful in the future as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for picking that up, Doug. I missed that. All right, and then you want to go back to are there any comments or questions on the AR report? Mike, are there any other items that you have?
I don't have any other items. I guess we're ready for the treasurer's report at this point.
Okay. I got a question,
yeah,
Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
Mike, you said something about a pump would be on the agenda for pump station in Soddy Daisy. Did that not come through? Well, that was in the committee meetings.
We didn't get the quote in a timely manner, so we'll be talking about it next month.
Okay, okay, that's good.
Are you ready with the financials, Bill?
Yes, sir. If you look at page 37, 55, we made a little money in November. In the regular account, we made $147,903.85 for a year-to-date total of $1,177,719.16. In the PSLP account, we made a profit of $184,588.51 for a year-to-date total of $915,701.17. That brings our grand totals for November to a net income of $332,492.36 and a year-to-date net income of $2,093,420.33. That and from there, if you'll look at the graphs, the next graph is the important one to me, which is cash flow. And for the month of November, we increased cash by about $357,266. One thing, and Peggy can tell what the bill wasn't paid to the county for the county services for the month yet, so that cash would be down a little bit, but it'll still be a positive cash flow. So we did have a positive cash flow for the month of November. For the year, we started out with $23,695,804.53. And we ended the month of November with $24,325,818.17 for a increase in cash for the 5 months ended November 30th of $11.64. The significant thing to me about that is, if you'll remember the project reports that Mike went over earlier, an awful lot of that said fund balance, fund balance, fund balance. And to be able to pay some of those projects out of fund balance and still have a positive cash flow, which is what I think we need, we did, and that's good. So the Mike and the staff are to be commended for maintaining a positive cash flow for the first 5 months of the year. And the other graphs are pretty, well, I've talked about the revenues and expenditures. You can look at the graphs and, but anyway, that's the report. And if there are any questions, you know, Peggy will be glad to answer them, or Mike. No. Anyway.
No, I agree with you, Bill. That's pretty amazing
It's pretty good.
that we've been able to maintain. The difference between the orange bar and the blue bar, of course, is our reserve.
Exactly.
And as I learned this morning talking to Mike, the PSL Pcash is deducted from that too. That's the reason there's such a large difference between what we call the available cash and the total cash.
You know, and we need to keep that available cash at a relatively significant number, because we're going to have to go out for a bond rating before in the not too distant future, and that is one of the critical measuring sticks that the rating agencies look at. So, you know.
And the reserve is now based on 6 months rather than 3 months.
Correct.
So really, our finances are really pretty darn good shape. With the only real concern is the AR, and maybe that's getting ready to correct.
Hopefully so. Yeah, it looks like.
I'd like to point out on the, Caleb, if you'll scroll down to the debt. To the debt chart. Huh? Oh, there it's coming. Okay, it's just delayed. This really doesn't tell us much at this point in time, I don't believe, but it will one of these days when projects really begin to have an impact on our borrowing. And we'll just watch that grow and use this chart, I think, to manage our cash flow and our borrowing in order to meet the debt that's headed our way. So the story on this chart is coming in the future. So it'll be interesting to see how it develops. Are any questions at this point about that? Okay, good. Thank you very much, Bill.
Yes, sir.
The only comment that I've got before we get into commissioners' reports is, and Mike can chime in on this maybe better than I can, but we are continuing to negotiate the final terms of the CD. And we believe that it's possible that we can hammer out the final two issues, one being Signal Mountain, the other one being mostly language, by January. And if that's the case, then we need, I would like to be able to put together and hopefully in person, if you all will agree, a meeting where we can have a review for everyone assembled to go over the key parts of the CD before we actually go into signing, so that you all have a working knowledge of what has been negotiated over such an extended period of time. So if you would be thinking of February, I know everyone is busy, but if somehow or another February, if it comes together, be able to be available for the February meeting which would be, and I don't have the calendar in front of me, but whatever that first meeting would be, I would like to have as many people in attendance as we possibly can. And that's all I've got. Kenny, do you have anything? Is Kenny still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Just like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thank everybody for this whole last year. It's been a tough year for everybody. It's been a different year. One we'll obviously always remember, but I just can't thank the staff and everybody enough for how they've been able to persevere through all this that's went on and still deliver a service that is much needed and highly criticized. So thank you again for everything that you all do. And thanks to all the commissioners and everybody that serves. It's always a pleasure to see you all. And I feel like we really work hard to deliver a really good product and really try to support and bring growth to all of Hamilton County.
Thank you, Kenny. Just to throw it back at you, you are a key member of this board. We really appreciate your participation. We know you're busy, but it's very nice. We always appreciate the time you spend with us. Walker Jones, what's going on Lookout Mountain besides hunting?
Not much. I just want to basically just say what Kenny said. He encapsulated everything. I know it's been a tough year. Hope everybody can decompress a little bit for the holidays and enjoy the holidays and just again stay safe out there. Enjoy the holidays. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you, Walker. Boyd, how about you? Signal Mountain.
Start off with thanking Mike for joining us Monday for the meeting. He did an excellent job, and there were some significant questions, as I'm sure he anticipated, because he did a very good job fielding them. And frankly, at this point, there aren't answers for some of them. And I think he explained that, and that we're working towards answers, and from that we'll have a plan to move forward. So again, I really appreciate it. He did a really good job, and just reiterate prior sentiments regarding the staff, the work they've done through this year, and hope everyone has a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Boyd. Jay Bell.
Yes, well, I would just echo the sentiments of the other commissioners and thanking the staff for working hard through the year, and wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a safe holiday. That's the important thing. So that's really all I've got. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Doug?
Ditto on all the well wishes for Happy New Year and Merry Christmas to everybody, the staff and family. Do appreciate the work. I would just make mention to have us not to forget the accolades, some kind of recognition for the Mike Moon, for Tyler Howell, some other people that have left us throughout the COVID period, that we've had to put off some kind of form of celebration for their service, and just for us to remember that in the coming year. Hopefully we can do it together.
Okay, agreed. Thanks for the reminder. Hey, Bill McGriff.
Yes, I'd just like to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and hope you're all setting up till 2021, because I'm setting up to make sure this year gets the hell out of here, So well, I'll call all of you at 12:01, the 1st. Okay, so and thank Mike and the
there you
staff.
go.
Do a great job. Thank you.
And finally, Alice.
Yes, thank you. I too would like to thank Mike and the staff at WWTA for such a difficult year and doing well and continuing the work that needed to be done. And I would like to wish each of you a Merry Christmas, each of our commissioners, Merry Christmas as well.
Thank you. And I'm just going to be the last one, but I wish each of you a Merry Christmas, a happy holiday, stay well. I just want you to know that I am so proud of what's going on at WWTA and with this board. I'm honored to chair what I believe is just an excellent board and an excellent staff. And I think you all can take pride in what you do and the contribution we're making to the well and betterment of Hamilton County. So with the next board meeting is January the 27th. And just, you might want to make a note, that's later than we normally have been meeting. So we're going back on the normal schedule. The next committee work session is January 14th. And at that point, we'll be able to tell you more about what may be happening in February about a CD review. Are there any questions?
Hey, Dick.
Thank you all. Thank you all for the work you do. Appreciate it.
Dick.
Yay.
Doug had something.
Who is that?
Doug wants to say something.
You in the first of the meeting, we had to skip past this. Neill, I see Neill's name on the up here now. Were there any legal issues?
Oh, okay. Neill, are you there?
She had sent me an email saying she was having computer issues. I'm not sure.
Okay.
May still be having computer issues.
Okay. I thought I
Doug,
saw.
I'm not aware of anything. We haven't had a legal issue in some time.
Okay.
We did have the one in regards to the I-75 collector project. Chambliss and Bonner was involved in that as well. I don't know if Mr. St. Charles has a report on that or not.
Yeah, I wasn't directly involved in that. Was that something that Hal handled?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say, like I said earlier, it appears that it's really more between the contractor and the property owner as opposed to having an issue with the WWTA. We're just part of it because they're our contractor. But I think it's being worked out.
Okay. Thank you, Michael.
Welcome.
All right, no further business.
I have a question. I have a quick question. I just want to make sure that I got the dates right. The next committee meeting is the 14th and not the 21st?
The 14th is what shows on the agenda. Hang on, January 14th. Is that it, Mike? Does that sound right? Or Natasha, maybe that's?
Yes, Thursday, the 14th is the committee work session.
Okay. And then the board meeting is the 27th.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all very much. We'll be adjourned.